Hello guys, welcome back to another video. My name is ChiefDog74 and let's get into this one. So today guys, I've got a bit of a longer intro this time. Just need to talk about a few things. So there'll be a timestamp on your screen right now, which you can skip to where I just start going into normal video. Perhaps if you're like new to the channel or whatever, and you just want to look at the F1 gameplay and stuff, so click the there now if you don't want to hear what I have to say, but if you do, then stick around and let's dive into this. So I am sorry for my inactivity on the channel. It's been quite frustrating for me to not do videos, especially near the end of the season, because I get a lot of battle pass points for doing these videos, so it's been pretty hard for me there as well, and I haven't been having too much time, as my family and me are having we're going about a bit more, which perhaps we would have spread over the summer holidays, but due to current circumstances that had to be slowed. So last week I was very inactive, and this week will probably prove to be the same as well. So yeah, that's not too great on your side, but thank you for your patience, and I'm gonna get this video out now for today, which is Tuesday. Also, in between this time, my last video of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix had a false copyright claim, and I believe it was from a YouTube bot. So YouTube has bots which try and detect copyright by having a look at footage from other people's videos and comparing it to yours. And there was this F1 Pro Series exhibition race for Azerbaijan, and if you actually looked at it from a human perspective, you'd clearly see that it wasn't right. So after a lot of looking about and stuff and seeing what the video was about, the one that I was allegedly copywriting, we disputed it, and within a few days F1 had agreed to my dispute and taken the copyright claim down. So I wasn't too sure if they were gonna actually reply, because they probably get a whole bunch of these from other YouTubers, because like it was like last year's game that it thought I copied from, so the games look similar from certain angles, which is perhaps why the bot falsely picked that up. But yeah, that wasn't too good. But future videos then, I'm hoping to do some soon. If I do get a chance, and I will take that, because it's not fair on you guys for missing out on so many videos. But I'm thinking of doing a Imperial rank one for Elite Dangerous, because I'm currently doing that grind over in Manani and Naglin, something like that. Them two systems where you get the Imperial rank grind, and I'm going to be buying the cutter when I get to Duke. Currently, as the time of this recording, I believe I am Count, so the 9th out of the about 12 or 13 13th rank I need to get to there. And I may be doing a Fall Guys co-op with Fall Guys with someone else. And if you want to see that, then let me know in the comments below. But now let's get into the actual Formula 1 action here. We're at Canada, which is actually the first track ever played. We're going to do this sponsor event there. We're not going to upgrade a facility just yet. That'll be for next race. But yeah, Canada next. So I'm very happy about Canada. It was one of the first tracks I ever raced on, or in fact, it was the first track they ever raced on. Just because it's I was testing out the wheel to see how it worked, because I've never played a wheel. This was the first game that I'd used the wheel on, so I was just testing out the control set, adjusting them, and I saw that Canada was good because obviously it's got the long straight, the curved hairpin, which requires very good turning radius, and it's got some chicanes and low speed and high speed corners. So it was definitely one of the better tracks to test on for me. But our team balance is definitely soaring at the moment. We're going to change these two parts next race, because they're very worn at the moment. R&D wise, we did have an upgrade come in, which was this one, I believe. I reckon probably what we should do is hold off slightly, perhaps after practice, and then get this major engine cover upgrade, so we're fast as we can be. Or we could improve the engine, because that's one of the more key areas. I reckon I should probably do that, especially since I have good morale with the powertrain. So we'll do that after I've done the practice sessions. But time to advance. As I said, Canada, I'm feeling good about this one. I would say it's one of the top 5 tracks that I enjoy the most. So let's see if we can pull out a good performance here. And just wanted to quickly show you guys this. Unfortunately, I did forgot to put my mic on, but as you could see there, it was going to be rain at the end of the race there. But just a little spoiler alert, rain never actually did come. It just got cloudy. But perhaps if I was doing a 50% race, the rain would come. Practice 2 has rain though, and I also talked about perhaps how I was going to get a rivalry by the end of practice, or by practice 1, which I did, and you can view it now.
Your take on it. Who would you say is your biggest rival at the moment?
So here we go then. We've got the rivalry here then. So we can choose Carlos Sainz. That's going to be very hard. Esteban Ocon. It's going to be medium difficulty. Daniel Ricciardo, also medium difficulty, and Lando Norris. So it's basically, if we go for Renault or McLaren as our rivals, I'm just trying to think back to previous results. I think if we went Esteban Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo, it'd be perhaps a bit more easier, whereas Lando Norris would be a bit harder. So we'll go for the middle, which would be Daniel Ricciardo.
Do you have any comments about this team?
I haven't really been concentrating on them because of course they're at the front of the pack, so
You scraped the walls a few
yeah.
times. Were you struggling for grip?
Again, I pretty much touched one wall, I think, and so no comment, Claire, because you're going for the wrong questions.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. So yeah, our rivalry begins against Daniel Ricciardo. Of course he's pretty good, but since he's gone down to Renault, hasn't been particularly performing as well as his old days in Red Bull. But I'm hoping that'll be a bit more of a closer rivalry. So yeah, I'll do the rest of practice, perhaps without any interruptions, and then I'll be on to qualifying, where I'll be doing the same thing as usual, which is post commentary. And so here we go then for qualifying here at Canada. It's going to be sunny, so that's always nice. We've got Daniel Ricciardo as our rivalry, as I've said before. We also got a lot of points, and I was thinking about investing it on the engine, but after looking at the performance of each part of the car, I saw that chassis and aerodynamics were ones that were more needed to have upgrades. The aerodynamics we've got covered, with an upgrade coming in very soon, and now we've just covered the chassis by getting another major upgrade for it, which should get us past Haas again. So smiles all round there for the team. It's on to our first lap here at Canada. Usually I go all out on my banker laps, so often I can't improve them, and that's kind of what happens later on here. But as we come across this last final straight, then there's the double chicane ahead, which I often cut a bit, as so. As we come through the third and final DRS zone, it will be P2 for the moment. We dropped down to P5 eventually, and then my second flying lap wasn't good enough. Only sticks us with P5, as we made no time. And so, yep, we finish in 5th. Our teammate is in dead last. So that wasn't too great for teammate. Great for us. I wasn't really expecting a P5. I thought perhaps a P10 or 11, but some of the other cars really underperformed here, which gave us a slight edge, I suppose, as well as on the rivalry. We go ahead there. We're up to Team Acclaim level 9, so that was very good for us. One more level, and then it's the third sponsor for us. But it's on to the race now. The rain doesn't come in the end, which is a bit disappointing. If I was on 50% race, then perhaps it would come, but no rain. So just all out dry. But the strategy choice was quite interesting.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. It's one of the fastest races of the season here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 60% of this 2.7-mile circuit taken at full throttle. There are 14 corners to navigate, the very last of which has its very own infamous history and could be the cause of a safety car today. Anthony Davidson also joins me in the commentary box today. Why don't we discuss McLaren? What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Vettel, Bottas, Blue and Stroll, Raikkonen, Verstappen, Giovinazzi and Sergio Perez, Gasly, Ricciardo, Lando Norris and Kvyat, Sainz, Albon, Esteban Ocon and Roman Grosjean, Latifi, Russell, Correa and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
And so here we are then in the cockpit of our car. Got the Canadian race ahead. I was highly surprised to see a two-stop. I'm not particularly too great with understanding tyre wear of each track just yet, but I weren't too sure on a two-stop. I did have a think about it though, because it definitely would spice up this race, but decided to play it safe. Not many other cars I think are gonna go for a two-stop over a one-stop, so I just get ready to go into this race. Canada's always been pretty decent for me. Let's see how we do as the 5 red lights start to appear here at Canada, and it's a decent start for us, terrible one for Bottas. We go down the inside of both Ferraris, Leclerc and Vettel there, and have to take the long way around. Slight collision with Vettel. Vettel pushes us aside. Bottas on the inside for this corner, forcing us a bit out into a wide bit there, but we keep our ground here. We step through, almost colliding with Vettel there. That would have been not particularly good to start off with, and it's up to P4 for us, so already doing a lot better than perhaps in previous races. Let's quickly have a replay of the start then. So yeah, Bottas just really slow off the line there, and we tried to get the jump on the Ferraris, but had to go the real long way around, where perhaps people will come out from the pits. I didn't particularly see Bottas there, so he went, we had to back off a bit there, but tucked behind the Ferraris. Lewis Hamilton leads the race, then I believe it's Leclerc, Vettel, then myself and Bottas behind. So yeah, not sure what we can do here. We do try and defend against Bottas for this opening lap. Of course we got this long straight though, so possible for him to overtake us here, especially in my kind of car, as we skip onto lap 2 here, and Bottas sees that we've made a mistake, tries to go down, and that would be on the outside. Squeeze him out just a little bit, no contact made as of yet, and we go along to this hairpin, which I really can't get down on with the line there. But yellow flags are ahead. Leclerc is still good, Vettel is still good, so that would just leave Lewis Hamilton, which is out of this session. So Mercedes not having too great luck here at Canada. I looked after, we'll just listen on board now, but I looked after, and I saw that smoke came out from the back of his car, so that's not going to be too great for Lewis Hamilton. He was well ahead in the lead, would have definitely scored some good points for his championship, but the other Mercedes now then looking to attack us. We go very wide, get bumped by Bottas there, and he gets it just for now, but we go for a dive bomb there, make sure he's tucked behind us, but of course Mercedes soaring ahead, and well, nothing really too much I could do to defend against Bottas there, especially on this long straight. But Lance Stroll, the Canadian, the home Grand Prix, he does look to have a fight with us there, and there's the shove again, and the dive bomb, as we did this pretty much to perfection. Slowed Bottas down there, but unfortunately the raw power of Mercedes is not at Chief Motorsport as of yet, so that was a bit harsh there. Stroll couldn't get past just yet, but he does look to have a move now, but we make sure he stays where he stays behind us, because we do not want him to overtake us, especially when such high points are at stake here. You can just see a beautiful shot of the helicopter following the car. Of course, the lake or the river of Montreal is here, but we're going to our pit stop on this island pretty much, as we go on through. Of course, our pit box is at the very last spot on the grid pretty much, so it's a 3-second stop kind of, but we are sent to the back of the grid as nobody else decides to go in for this lap, so possibly could get some good overtakes done here. But on to lap 7, end of lap 7, even on to lap 8, and now the cars are starting to all go into the pits, and we make moves up to P16. I think that's Leclerc or Vettel just ahead of us, but Carrera, our teammate, and Magnussen are fighting for, well, practically no points, which is kind of why I want a new teammate, and I'm pretty sure we will be doing that later on. Our teammate goes into the pits, and I'm very slow there, almost rear-ending Magnussen, but we're up into P7 this time, and crucially we've overtaken Bottas through our pit strategy. So as we come on to the end of well, the middle of this lap, we have to overtake Magnussen, of course. He's been on the medium tyre from the very start of this race, so bit of an odd strategy for him. We make the dive there, but he's right with us, forces us a bit onto the grass there, but luckily DRS, ERS, Rich Mix, nothing can stop this car, as now we just barge past him because he's really slowing me down, and it's up into P3 this time, so potentially a podium here at Canada. Perhaps this car's a bit more suited to this track, but onto this replay of us getting past Magnussen then. It wasn't necessarily the cleanest at the end, but he was really slowing me down, and if I didn't overtake him then, it would have been Stroll that would overtake me, as well as also the cars ahead that were in the pits as well. So it had to be done, maybe not super clean, but you know, K-Mag isn't particularly always that clean himself, but all the drivers deserve a big pat on the back for even getting here. But lap 16 now of this Canadian Grand Prix, and Stroll has been pressurizing me this whole race pretty much, as one would at their own home Grand Prix. So it could go badly, could go into Stroll's favour, especially if we're going to crash into the wall like that. No damage done, but could have had some damage there from Stroll, as we collide there and he gets ahead of us now. A bit worrying, especially when there's now 2 laps to go, and Stroll forces us off to slow down, and now Verstappen, he looked like he could have overtaken us there, and that would have been 2 cars on the penultimate lap to overtake. So there was our slight graze with the wall, had to slow down a bit, and we collide with Lance Stroll there. So as one might say, getting a bit frosty there, but yeah, he slows us down there again, and Verstappen looked there. This is what it was from Lance Stroll's point of view. A small movement of the wheel there when we tapped him. This is it from Verstappen's view. Not like him really in real life to hold off from overtaking. Usually he's one of the ones that will, when he sees an opportunity, he goes for it. But of course it's just AI, so they not necessarily always as similar to their real life drivers. But now we have to pressurize Lance Stroll, as it's the penultimate lap here at Canada, one of the tracks with the most laps, just because of perhaps how short it is to some of the others. Verstappen once again pressurizing, he's right there with us all the way around this lap. So the engineer does say rain is coming in a few laps, but unfortunately there's only 1.5 now laps left. But now we've got the DRS, and we have a little bit of overtake. Rich Mix will be used all the way, and now we've really closed up the gap to Lance Stroll. He's gonna have to pull off some magic to stop us now as we go down the inside. I don't think he was expecting us have to go the long way around here, and beautifully just get in front to get back that podium position on the last lap. Let's have a look at how we did it here then. So it was a really long way back from where we were, but we had the DRS, we had the overtake. I'd got a lot of Rich Mix to use, because I hadn't been using so much. And we just took the opportunity, went down the inside, went the long way around, and got the job done. But now onto the end of this lap, Lance Stroll fighting all the way. He'd love a podium here at Canada on his home Grand Prix, of course, and well, I can't blame him really. I would definitely want to win at Britain, or get a podium at least. Charles Leclerc does win for Ferrari this time out though, and we stay ahead of Lance Stroll. It's a podium for us, and well, I didn't think that would be this early to when we were going to get a podium. We get driver of the day, even though it can't load in our image, but yeah, smiles all around here.
They take the checkered flag then here in Canada in what has been another fabulous Grand Prix. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Ferrari are at it again, an excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and there's certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
So there you have it then. We get a whole bunch of points here for the Battle Pass. This is why I love doing these videos. They help out me as well. But we jump up to 7th in the driver's standings, beating Carlos Sainz and Renault, or most importantly Daniel Ricciardo as well. We get driver of the day, of course, and we still stay in P6 for constructors. Renault and McLaren are very close within our grasp, so you never know. In the first season, we could get into some very high positions, perhaps even becoming the best mid team on the grid at the end. However, of course, there will be that reset of upgrades to come, which we may need to save up some points for. But this is the move from Lance Stroll's point of view. Don't think he expected us too much, to be honest. We kind of just went in there, and it wasn't like he slowed down or anything. He just really couldn't get the power down. I'm pretty sure they did say that he had some fuel management issues, which could have affected him there. But there was us coming home on the podium, doing it for Britain. So definitely happy about that one. And Claire's got a nice interview for us once again.
Everything went your way today. It looked like you had a really good strategy for the race.
So yeah, I suppose we did. We beat Bottas in his strategy with Mercedes. I think that the early pit stop probably did play a big role in getting this. So
Would you say we all underestimated you?
enough one of these questions. Just help out the team as much as possible is what I say. So I just went for the one that gave me the most acclaim.
There's quite a buzz around this team at the moment. What are your thoughts on them?
So I kind of had to give Renault a bit of the handshake there, because, well, they've worked hard, and we're their rival now.
Do you have any comments about the collisions?
So once again, Claire focusing on a single tap on the wall or whatever, or some small collisions. I did do the durability though, because we do need to switch out that wear.
Well, that's everything.
But we tick all the boxes for the rivalry, which puts us ahead 7-3. I think it was just a fluke. We go to 7th for our own acclaim, and the team acclaim jumps a whole bunch for our first podium for the team, and we get both the sponsor goals done as well. Small amount of damage deductions, not as much as usual though, and we're up to 5.7 million, and we're still gonna save, and because I wouldn't mind having a pretty good teammate with us. Not an F2 driver though, so bit of a hint towards perhaps one of the lower down F1 drivers, who knows. We won't be buying Lando Norris just yet though, that will probably have to wait to the end of the season. So yeah, there you have it then. We've done pretty good there, not going to get any facility upgrades. R&D is not going to be affected just yet. The energy store and control electronics we will switch next time, but as I said, I just have a quick look there. The period we're in currently is June, and the contract will be early July. So if we save some here, then I'm hoping that we can buy one of the lower down F1 drivers. I know that some other people have done it, so they just went with a different F2 driver, but I feel like even though we may not be able to get facility upgrades, I feel like if we can get some points and money through doing well in this year, then at the end we'll get a bigger bonus, and that's where we can really splash out on the facilities, and perhaps even get Lando Norris as a driver by the end of this season. We always have to look hopeful, and some of these lower down drivers cost 6 million, but of course we need to get a little bit extra there as well. So if you did enjoy, then be sure to hit the like button. If you enjoy all of my Formula 1 content as well as some of the other stuff that I do here, then be sure to hit the subscribe button, comment on absolutely anything you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time at the French Grand Prix.